Okay, you can hit auto. There we go. Alright, what is going on, guys? Favol's back again, and we're going to be pulling our BBS. Here we go. And yeah, so let's just talk about it, because there's two banners that I want to talk about today and whether or not you should summon on them. And that's going to be, honestly, for the most part, a relatively hard no unless you have like a ton of orbs in reserve. So, movie selection: Kusaka, Dark Rukia, and Kokuto. This is the newest banner that has come out before the Senna and I forgot the other. Oh my god. What was the other guy's name? I'm so mad I'm spacing on the other guy's name. Who cares? He was pretty mid. Either way, the Kokuto, Dark Rukia, and Kusaka banner, honestly, when this banner came out, they were actually pretty good. I don't think that they're bad characters, but like, I will say this. If you summon for these characters are not going to be anywhere near as strong as anything that's been coming out this last year. So just keep, by this last year, I mean like all the way down from like March 3rd, right? Like I wouldn't use Kokuto over Yamamoto, even though they have the same killer. Kokuto has the 1200 by 1200 shotgun, no, excuse me, 1200 by 1200 shotgun blast for strong attack, 960 AoE around, AoE distant. It does have a bit of back range on it, which is pretty good. 960 AoE second strong attack, and then his third strong attack is a standard full screen. Kusaka, in my opinion, probably has the best kit, but one thing to note about it is it's not like it makes him OP. Shuren, that's what his name is. So if I go into the Kusaka and I go over here, Kokuto is also a potion unit. So like if you need potion units, might not be a horrible option. Let me do this real quick. Okay, so going into his actual kit, we have the 3000 length beam with 870, so it's not really the 1020 that we're kind of used to now, because that's like kind of the OP one. 960 AoE distant second strong attack, and then his third is going to be the vacuum explosion, like 5th anniversary Byakuya, or I feel like there's someone recent that came out with that. Either way, third strong attack, AoE distant in front of you, it vacuums in and explodes. It's not a bad strong attack, hold you in place for a little bit, so if he's bonus in epic raids, you might want to be careful about bringing him in. He's not a bad character, he's actually pretty good. Like this, when these characters came out, they were really, really good. He was incredibly strong. But like when you come into like the territory of what we have coming out now, like if you look at his skills, right? We have Frenzy, we have Berserker 20%, not like 40 or 60, and there's no spiritual pressure boost, there's no increased status element chance, there's none of that. Just damage to frozen enemies if you're able to proc off your freeze to begin with. And he also didn't have, like, the freezer skill wasn't a thing back then. So that's one thing to note. So he's not going to be OP. He's just going to be good because he has a good strong attack kit. Next, we do have the Kokuto. The Rukia, I don't really think she's worth talking about. She does have increased status element chance against Soul Reapers in particular, so I actually like her, but her kit, like her strong attack kit, is not really all that great. So Berserker 20%, increased status element chance, and then Frenzy +1. She was really good for her time because like increased status element chance during like IT's release was really nice, and then she also had weaken, so like you were also weakening relatively like often, which is good. Kokuto, Hollow Killer, Berserker 20%, Frenzy. I'm not going to talk about Dark Rukia's kit. All you need to know is that this first strong attack is diarrhea. Like 60% magnification, pretty bad. Going into Kokuto, 1200 by 1200 shotgun blast, 960 AoE distant, standard full screen third strong attack. I actually like this banner. Like this banner was actually pretty good for its time, but it's also very old, right? So you have to keep that in mind. Next, for the other available characters in the selection, it's a 7% banner, guaranteed one of these 7 characters at step 5, which is pretty good. 42% chance, I already pulled out my calculator for this, a 43% chance of pulling one of the banner characters in particular. But this Hell vs Ichigo might not be too bad because he's a NAD 25 link. And this Toshiro is a strong attack recharge, strong attack damage 20, strong attack recharge 10% link, which could be pretty nice depending on how you see it. Yin Yang, NAD 20, strong attack recharge 10%, I believe. I might be wrong on that. Let me actually, I could literally just pull it up. Yang. Yeah, strong attack recharge 10%. So that could be good too. So you have a decent amount of links that you might be interested in. If I type in Shuren, damage reduction, strong attack recharge, not really all that great. I don't like it anyways. And Hell vs Ichigo. If I go to Hell vs Ichigo, normal attack damage, weaken immunity. So he didn't get a good secondary link. He's just a NAD 25 link. But all 4 of these characters after the Kusaka have all been resurrected, which that could be good because that means that you could potentially get your orbs back. I would only recommend this if you have a good spare amount of orbs where you can say, okay, cool, 1100 orbs, that's not that much. I have 3,500 or more. If you have less than like 3,000, I would say to skip this banner, except for like the first step. I'll toss the first step. Increased rate of like 7% with spirit orbs is only 150. Highly recommend doing the first step. Anything after that, I don't really care for it, to be honest. Next, I do want to talk about the other banner that got announced, Yamamoto's Rerun. Yamamoto, AIzen, and Yhwach. AIzen and Yama are like literally some of the strongest characters out in the entire game, and Yhwach, in my opinion, is still very good, even though he doesn't really like he's not really as great in PvE content. But in normal PvE content, it's not like Yhwach is bad, right? He has the booster skill, he has a lot going on for him. We don't have the actual banner characters that are on, excuse me, we don't have the filler of this banner, but I do want y'all to be aware that Yamamoto, Yhwach, and AIzen are coming back. So if you're interested in summoning for these characters, make sure that you keep a spare amount of orbs. This is why I said I don't want y'all summoning on this banner unless you have at least like 3,500 orbs. Not 3,000, not 2,500, at least 3,500. And the reason for that is literally just because we have other stuff coming out that in my opinion should take priority. If these characters are some of your favorite characters, that's cool. Like, feel free to summon, you're not guaranteed to pull them. It sucks. But I mean, it is what it is. But one thing that I do want to note is that these characters all have a 1% pull rate, which is the equivalent of their individual banner, except on their individual banner, they have less of a rate than their individual banner. But at least you're guaranteed a movie character when you pull a 5-star. So you know, the pros and cons of it, to be honest, I would prefer this, like, and not having filler than the current filler right now. Back in the day, I didn't really mind the filler. Like, I'm like, oh, it's cool, you know, like, for newer players, you're not going to be pulling XXX whatever types of characters. So, like, you know, having that type of filler pool. But now that, like, KLab has given us, like, 5-star tickets out the butt, and then we also got a bunch of 5-star tickets from and a bunch of bracelet tickets from point events and stuff like that, I don't really see premium pool characters being pulled from banners as a good thing anymore, because you get them so often now. So, like, I don't know. I hope KLab eventually, like, makes it better, but at the end of the day, we'll see. But I'm gonna leave it at that. You guys are grind on, catch up. Hope you guys stay blessed. Like, comment, subscribe. If you hope you enjoyed this video, have a great day. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.